TV.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Out of the Fog. It's your boy DC, and this is a show dedicated to what's going on across the province. The best and the brightest coming through. Tonight is no exception. We have Helen Escott happening tonight. She is an author, a research writer, and fashion plate, talking about her latest book and all her previous incredible books. You're going to learn all about that and how you can get your hands on 1 or 5. And then further to that, we have Allison and Arron from Youth Ventures, an incredible organization helping entrepreneurs across the province engage in that art through incredible venture boxes that they're going to show off tonight, along with other services and great things you're going to want to learn all about. This is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and like I told you before the break, we're going to be solving mysteries here tonight. First up on the couch, the one and only, I mean, I'll say writer, but I got to throw in fashion plate as well, the one and only Helen Escott. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Well, I always love when I know that you're coming through because we laugh. The fashion is always something to be seen, and the books.
Oh, thank you. The books, you know what, they keep me going. There's so much joy in writing.
That's amazing. And listen, it's a labor of love, to be sure, because if I know anything about writing books, especially based on our conversations that we've been lucky enough to have, is the amount of research that goes into writing is no joke. Is that true?
You know what, research is probably the biggest part of the book. Mm-hmm. Now, people say to me, like, how much do you write during the week? Because you'll have young writers who want to write. Mm-hmm. And I'll say to them, I write 4 days a week, 9 to 5. I'm very strict on my schedule.
Wow.
But that doesn't mean I'm sitting down at a computer actually writing. Most of that, probably say 85% of that, is research. It's going out talking to subject matter experts, going out to locations and taping everything around it. So when I'm describing it, I know what it looks like, what it smells like, what it feels like, what's near it. Is it near an ocean? Is it near a graveyard? You have to describe the whole thing because you have to take your audience there. Wow. So I spend a lot of time doing research, and especially with subject matter experts. And people love to talk to you about their area of expertise.
Sure.
And when you're reading a book, especially if you have someone who knows policing, you don't want them to read the book and go, oh no, that's not how it works. And I do have a large audience of police people, and so when they read the book, I often get emails saying, oh, that was good. That was a good investigation.
It's a you know type of inside knowledge scenario. And of course, may I say, who better than you to bring that, because life previous to writing, well, I'll let you say more about that.
Well, I had 10 years in the media, and then I left and joined the RCMP as their communications strategist, and so and then retired from that. Mm-hmm. And the careers were so similar to me because in media, I learned to ask the questions. Mm-hmm. You have to have the questions, the who, what, when, or why. Mm-hmm. In policing, you ask the exact same questions. You just do different things with the answers. That's all it is. So they're very, very similar. So when I started with the Operation books, I ran each one like a real police investigation. I never knew how it was going to end. I let the characters go exactly as I would in a police investigation, and I just followed them through. And I basically just did surveillance on these characters until they worked through their operation.
Does anything that we see, and well, there's two different, one is a series of books, the Operation books.
Yes.
And I'll ask you just to let the viewers at home understand a little bit more about what the Operation books are, and I'll hand it over to you, but then I'll ask you something else after. So first, the Operation books. Tell us more about those and the details of that.
So every police investigation is called an operation. You'll often see an Operation Bateau or Operation, of another name. So that's why they're called the Operation series. So each book is a separate police investigation. So the Operation duology of Wormwood and The Reckoning, that's a 2-book series, they are about child abuse. It's about a serial killer who is targeting pedophiles and a police officer. It's the introduction of the main character,
Wow.
Sergeant Myra, and he is trying to figure out how the serial killer is getting to them and how he absolutely knows who they are. And then the next book was Operation Vanished, which was the investigation I did into murdered and missing women in rural Newfoundland in the 1950s and why the cases were never solved. Very interesting what I found out there. And then Operation Trafficked was an investigation I did into human trafficking from St. John's to Montreal. And what I found out was absolutely astounding. You know the #1 place for human trafficking in Canada? Halifax. Halifax, because it's a port and military bases, and that old adage of boys will be boys.
Interesting.
It's so interesting that the organizations put in place to help these women are actually the ones that are hurting them the most. So each one is based on true crime. Every one of them is ripped right from the headlines. I just changed the names to protect the guilty.
Unreal. And now I have to ask you, before we jump into the book that I'm really excited to talk about today, do you have another operation book in the wings?
I'm always thinking about killing people. It's always in my mind. I'm always looking for new ways. If you know of a new way, let me know.
We'll talk on the
Always
break.
doing research. Actually, I'm about 5 chapters away from finishing the next one.
Okay.
And you know what? The last 10 chapters are harder than the first 10 chapters because you have to let go and you have to tie up everything. And you have to make sure it really works, because my books are not just about the whodunit. Mine's about a journey. You're going to learn something you didn't know before. And in Trafficked, you're going to learn about human trafficking, things you never knew. In Vanished, you're going to learn about why these women went missing and nobody looked for them. And in Wormwood and The Reckoning, you're going to find out, you're going to see a different side of child abuse. And in Operation Masonic is about domestic violence. But it's also about the history of Freemasonry in the province, and there's not a lot of books on that.
True.
And there's a lot of things you're going to read about the Masons in that book that you never knew before.
Well, thank you for the operational update, and I'll be on the lookout. But for now, we will meet again. It's newish, just out in the summer.
Just out in July, yeah.
Oh my gosh, just a few months old.
It's a baby.
Still warm, still warm.
Yeah, it's a baby.
And well, listen, for this baby, it's crying because I'm hearing a lot of amazing feedback. How proud are you?
Oh, so proud. It started on the bestsellers list in July. It stayed on the bestsellers list in July. It's not a murder mystery, and it's different from me, and I just needed a break from crime.
Sure.
And this has a main character. Her name is Hadley. She's 99 years old. She is tough. She's a tough old bird. She's going to judge you. She's going to criticize you. She's probably going to make you cry. But she's been kind of tapping on my shoulder for about 3 years saying, write my story, write my story. And I kept saying, no, I have to focus on the operation books. And finally I said, you know what? I am going to write your story. I'm going to do it now. And it's this wonderful story of 4 women in the Hines family. And they hate each other, and they love each other, and they can't be together, but they can't be apart. If 4 of them are in the room, one's going to be crying, one's going to be laughing. It's just the way they are. It's the story of women, of Newfoundland women, and how we persevere and get through everything. And it's the story of generational trauma and how women pass down generational trauma in their families until one person finally says, that's enough, I'm turning this into generational strength. And that's the story of every family.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And I have to ask writers, when do they come on with their amazing stories, and where do they come from? And sure, there's research, but there's also lived experience, and there's also the stories you hear from people around you, of course, and friends and family and everything else. Who are the Hines sisters to you?
They're a combination of a lot of women I know. They're my sisters, they're cousins, they're friends, there's friends' families. They're just a bunch, each one is a bunch of women that I know. And they'll be very familiar to you. One of the things I hear from women is that I know that person. I know who you named her after. And I'll go, maybe not, maybe not. But they're just familiar. They're familiar to everybody. And that's what makes them lovable. And that's what makes them believable, is you know these women. You'll read this and you'll go, oh my God, that's my mother and my sister, definitely. Because you just know these people.
It's fascinating to me because when I think about the art of writing, which I have to say I have the most appreciation for that, because as a writer in my own mind of more marketing, snappy headlines and short, to write long tail, what a journey. And how long did it take you from sitting in Monday morning at 9 o'clock to we're done? How long is that process for folks out there who may want to appreciate the true journey of writing and how long it takes?
For me, probably about 2 years per book, because I do a lot of research and a lot of information gathering, and then you put it together like a puzzle. And I also teach writing. I teach a course called The Art of Murder, How to Write a Murder Story.
Right.
It's great for high school students. If you're in high school and you want to know how to write books, contact me. But it's, and I say to people, one of the biggest obstacles is they'll say, I don't know how to start it. I have a great idea, but I don't know how to start it. And I said, that's great, because you shouldn't start at chapter 1. Start at chapter 10. Start at chapter 15.
Really?
Put them on Post-it notes and move them around. They're puzzle pieces. Just because you call something chapter 10, that could be chapter 1. That could be chapter 20. We don't know.
Wow.
Work forward and work backwards, but write your first chapter down, and it's always fixable. That's what
True.
That's what that back button is for. It's deletable, so you can go in, you can edit, you can fix it, move it around. Think of it as a puzzle piece. Write the story that's in your head as much as you can, and then work backwards and work forward, and let those characters move around. Don't force them to be something they're not.
Well, I appreciate it's really great advice for anyone listening at home who's thinking about getting on their journey of writing. And I never knew that and wouldn't have approached writing long tail that way. So thank you so much for that advice. I'm going to ask you, we're in our final couple of minutes here. Mentorship. A writer, someone who has so much to offer, who has so much experience, and yet you're teaching, you're showing new writers the way. And I wonder, how proud are you to have had so many writers maybe go on to write books based on the interactions they've had with you? What do you think about that?
I love that. Listen, the world stage is big enough for all of us. Other authors are not my competition. They're my allies.
Exactly.
I don't care what book you read as long as it's a Newfoundland book. I'll often be at signings and someone will come up and go, I read all your books and I love them. And I'll say, but did you read this one? Have you read Bill Coltis's book? Have you read, and I'll point out all the other authors that are there who are local, and they'll go, no, I haven't, and I'll introduce them. So long as you're buying Newfoundland books, I don't care what books you read.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what's next?
Next is, the Operation series has been optioned for TV and movies by the fabulous Mary Sexton.
Amazing.
Fashion plate of all fashion plates.
That's true.
And she owns, her and Ed Rich own Rink Rat Productions. They did the movie Maudie, which was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. So, and when I saw Maudie, I looked at the cinematography of that movie and I thought, she's the one. She is going to be the one. And then when we got together and talked about it, and she immediately gave me her vision, and I was like, this is it. You can see in my head. You see it. And Mary's cut of that cloth that I am, of that creative person who's got the vision and can see. And I knew right away when I spoke to her, she was exactly who I wanted. So I'm very excited about working with Mary, and she's fabulous. And someday, it'll be on TV.
Well, I cannot wait to be tuning in and having you back on the couch to talk about it. We're about to throw it at the break. How can folks get at you, get at your books, and stay in touch with your journey as a writer as you keep evolving?
Well, I got a website, HelenCEscott.com. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. Just look me up. The books are available on my website, Chapters, Coles, Irving's, wherever fine books are sold. They're online, Indigo, Amazon. Go out, buy some local books. Buy local books. Christmas is coming. Mom would love, every woman in your life is going to love We Will Meet Again, and everybody will love the Operation series.
Well, I'm going to get some from the family and the women in my life.
Yes.
And I already gave a book of yours to my dad as a gift, I'll have you know.
Oh, fantastic. I hope he loved it.
Oh, he did.
Excellent.
Will you come on again and hang out with us?
Anytime at all. Anytime at all. You should have a bar here. You should have a bar right here, you and I here. We'll chat. Show could go into 3
install
hours.
it for the next time. You'll be appreciative. Guys, Helen Escott, incredible career, history, and future. The books, you got to pick them up. And We Will Meet Again is the latest one. This is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and I'm so excited to be hanging out with a few homies on the couch who do so much to help the entrepreneurial conversation take off amongst youth in our province. Youth Ventures is the organization. Allison, Arron, what's up?
Well, this is it. Here talking about entrepreneurship with you. Thank you for having us.
Geez, it's near and dear to my heart. Let me tell you right off the bat, being in business for almost 15 years, when you get started on that journey, it's lonely.
Yep.
And I can look at the Youth Ventures now and thank for the work that I'm able to do to help support different things that you guys do. And wow, 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 if only Youth Ventures existed when I was on the go, you know? Because what you guys have done and what you're doing to inspire entrepreneurialism across the province is so amazing. And I know you're inside of it every day, so you maybe don't see it the way that someone like me does. But your team is incredible, and the work that you're doing is so powerful. I want to ask, what led you into Youth Ventures, Arron?
Okay, this is a good question. So I've actually been with Youth Ventures for quite a while. I started out as a regional coordinator out in my hometown, and I think I was just inspired from there to keep rolling with it. I mean, I did the Commerce Co-op program at Mon, and there was always a position available for me there as an administrator with the Youth Ventures program, and they couldn't keep me away. I just love entrepreneurship. I always had a passion for entrepreneurship, and I just love inspiring people to pursue their passions and do what they enjoy.
That's so sick. It's great. Allison, what about you?
I've always been aware of Youth Ventures. I've always been kind of in the non-for-profit youth organization scheme. So when I was asked to come on board as a part of this, I said absolutely, and I have loved working on the VentureBox project which I'm with. So yeah, can't keep me away either.
I love it, God. Well, geez, me too.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a good spot.
It's a great place to be,
Yeah.
and a great team, and a great cause. And yes, there's so much we can talk about in terms of Youth Ventures and everything in terms of programs. But the Venture Boxes, may I say, came as an idea years ago, and to see the number of venture boxes that now exist and the number of people across the province that have engaged with those and the businesses that have come from those and the recognition and awards of the people who started those businesses and I mean, it's just blooming at the speed of life. What do you say about it all?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Yeah, so for people who don't know our VentureBox project, if I could explain it for a second.
Let's do it.
So a venture box essentially is a business in a box is what we like to call it in a nutshell. Kids are sent these, they order them completely for free through our website, and they're sent right to their front door, and essentially what it is a business in a box. It contains enough materials to create a product, and then it also contains materials to help kids get started. So what you see here is our business startup guide.
Yeah.
And this here is our popcorn venture box. So what kids are doing is they're getting their packages of popcorn. They're taking these, they're making them, and they're putting their flavors into them. But then not only that, they're getting the bags to package them, the labels, the gloves, the little popcorn scoop to make sure that they're a real proper business. And the guide helps them and shows them, you know, exactly how they're gonna take it and market it and create their business name and handle their money and how they're gonna take their, you know, the money they make off of their first sale, and they're gonna take it, they're gonna go reinvest it into more popcorn. So there's really something for everybody in the different venture box types that we have. We got, you know, some candy kebab kits, some crochet. We do an Indigenous beadwork kit, and they've reached all across the province. And we're so happy to be continuing and engaging with people from everywhere and getting them started into entrepreneurship.
So number one, you are very well spoken and are killing it. Clearly someone was reading the notes pre-interview.
Oh, I didn't have any notes.
Oh, well, you're just delivering. You're living it in real time. Well, I love it, and it all looks so great, and it all feels so great, and I wonder if you can tell the viewers at home what the impact has been and what kind of feedback you may get from folks, youth, who end up getting their hands on these businesses in a box.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, we've got people from all across the province. You know, when we started the program, we were only ordering, say, about 500 boxes, but this year we were up to 1,500 that we're distributing. So we've still got tons left in stock, but we've had a ton of kids ordering them this year. They're available for anyone ages 7 to 29, and we've had everyone from that age range. I've seen a few good, really successful candy businesses on the rise. There's a girl from town locally who received her candy kit, and she went and made a hand-drawn logo, but ever since she's been growing. And I went down to the farmer's market last week, and there she was, not only selling candy, but selling fudge and Rice Krispie treats and dog treats and everything else. And it's just amazing to know that she took what was in this box and she grew it into an actual business. So, yeah.
I'll tell you what, growing up, to me, my first entrepreneurial experience was picking strawberries at Jim Dyer's strawberry farm down the street from my house in Logie Bay, my own little rural town I grew up
Hey,
in.
everyone starts somewhere.
Boom. And this, though, is like the Cadillac of that experience. You know what I mean? I mean, Aaron, I got to ask you, man, like, you know, coming into the organization and playing the different roles and rising up as you're doing, and you look at this idea, and I think you were around when these things were first becoming discussions.
That's right. Yeah.
So, like, how proud are you of that?
Very proud. Like, and I'd like to add that, like, the positive feedback we've received on these has just been astounding, and it's great to see how we started this project with the goal of inspiring youth to pursue entrepreneurship and see entrepreneurship as a viable career. And just the feedback we've seen from that, it's just been amazing. And you get all these kids come back to you and say, like, I never would have considered entrepreneurship, but I got one of your boxes and I sold them, and I think this is what I want. I think it's what I want to do. And it's just, it's really empowering for us.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Absolutely.
I mean, listen, you know, from side dish to main course, day-to-day life, I mean, a business can be anything and everything. And if you can fit it into a box, then you guys are bringing it down for the folks to get their hands on. So I want to ask you, we're in our final couple of minutes here. So the first thing I want to find out is, how can folks viewing at home, parents, kids, anywhere in between, how can they reach out to Youth Ventures? Where are you in the world wide web of it all?
Do you want to go ahead with this one? Or?
I suppose I could. You can find us on our website, so youthventuresnl.com.
That's right.
On the website, you can go straight to the Venture Box tab. That's where you'll see all the instructions, all the different box types, exactly how you can order them. We're also on social media, active on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, you know, posting all the great things that happen, because we also have a lot of people who don't start through Venture Boxes. They start their own businesses elsewhere, and Youth Ventures helps support them. So we get to highlight a lot of those businesses as well and celebrate and give awards for them. So all of that you can find on our Instagram, Facebook,
All the stuff.
everything.
So before I let you go, we're in our final few seconds, but if you had to pick a new kind of venture box, what would you pick?
Oh my.
I mean, may I say, I wonder if you wanted just to put a bunch of strawberries in a box,
That's what I was going to say.
a few little things to put them in, send it out to the masses, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, there you
know what I
go.
mean? So clearly I'm full of ideas. I mean, really, I should really be working with you guys more and coming up with these ideas. But I'll tell you what, maybe guys will tell you to the camera, if you guys have a business in a box idea that you think Youth Ventures should be saying hello to, then reach out to them on the social media. Because you never know, because the idea may be a venture box helping to inspire entrepreneurialism across the province. We don't know.
Absolutely.
We hope so.
Oh, I hope so.
Now, listen, will you guys come on the show again and talk about the cool things that Youth Ventures is doing?
No, anytime I would.
Well, I'd love
to.
to hear that. Well, you'll be back.
I'll be here.
100%.
I love it. They're going to hang out on the couch and wait until the next show to come on and talk about what's going on. But I'll tell you what, guys, Youth Ventures, an incredible organization doing such amazing things. Venture boxes could be yours. Experience the gift of entrepreneurialism this time of year or anytime. Thank you, Allison and Arron. We'll see you next time. And we'll be right back after the break.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
Welcome back, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight to Out of the Fog. Thank you so much to Helen Escott for coming through and talking about your incredible new book and everything that you do to keep the drama happening in the pages. So thank you so much. Arron and Allison from Youth Ventures, thank you so much for what you guys do. And the Venture Boxes, you guys are going to want to check it out and get one of your own. So check out youthventuresnl.com. And to throw us out, it's a hit from one of our favorites, Carolina East. Wish I never met you, but I'm so glad I met you. This is Out of the Fog, and we'll see you next time.
January 29th, 7:40. The one time in my life I was early. I hadn't seen you since you crushed me. Took a good heart and made it mincemeat. I don't know how I'll react. I've been pacing back and forth, getting madder while I'm waiting. And then you show up It washes over me, all the hurt and pain unleashed. I saw every hour last night, think about what you say, trying to be nice. But what I really wish is that none of this never, ever, ever happened. 'Cause I'd be so much drowning in bliss, I'd be so ignorant if I never met you, never knew the disappointment. I'd be fighting on my own, 'cause that's all I know. If I never met you, wish I never met you. Instead I'm down on my luck, worried that now I'm stuck. I'll be thinking about you and comparing everyone. I'll be looking for love and not scared to fall. If I never met you, wish I never met you at all. Didn't need to straighten up and all this worry. I could do without this hug, it's cold and hurried. If I could go back, you know I'd run like hell. But since we're here now, you better listen well. I saw every hour last night, think about what you say, trying to be nice. But what I really wish is that none of this never, ever, ever happened. 'Cause I'd be so much drowning in bliss, I'd be so ignorant if I never met you, never knew the disappointment. I'd be fighting on my own, 'cause that's all I know. If I never met you, wish I never met you. Instead I'm down on my luck, worried that now I'm stuck. I'll be thinking about you and comparing everyone. I'll be looking for love and not scared to fall. If I never met you, wish I never met you at all. I heard it's better to have loved and lost, but I think I'd rather have loved you not. I heard it's better to have loved and lost, but I think I'd rather have loved you not. I saw every hour last night, think about what you say, trying to be nice. But what I really wish is that none of this never, ever, ever happened. 'Cause I'd be so much drowning in bliss, I'd be so ignorant if I never met you, never knew the disappointment. I'd be fine on my own, 'cause that's all I know. If I never met you, wish I never met you. Instead I'm down on my luck, worried that now I'm stuck. I'll be thinking about you and comparing everyone. I'll be looking for love and not scared to fall. If I never met you, wish I never met you at all. Met you, at all. Ever met you, rather have at all. Ever met you, at all. Love you not.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
We want to hear from you. Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Call, email us, or scan the QR code to take our quick survey.
Where will you win?
The opening tip. We're underway. Here is Prince. Vicious swing. The NBA title is yours.
As we welcome a new era, where will you hear the story?
Right to the rim with a slam dunk.
Catch the highlights. Dive into tapes.
It spins.
Where will you be when? Right here. Raptors basketball. Nothing but Sportsnet.
We invite you to play What's My Line?
Welcome, Mrs. Baker. Those folks over there need to guess your extraordinary occupation.
Are you an entertainer, Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Do people come to watch you, perform?
Yes. Do you travel for work? Yes, I do.
Do you ever wear a special type of costume?
Yes.
Is your job, physical?
Yes, indeed.
Are you a member of a team?
Yes.
Are you a professional baseball player?
Yes, I am.
Created during the Second World War, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League included 68 Canadians. One of its brightest stars was my mother, Saskatchewan's Mary Bonnie Baker, a pioneer for women in sports.